Okay. Well, good morning. Good morning and welcome to the Bullitt County Fiscal Court. Today is April the 21st. It's 9:30 a.m. And at this time, Keith Griffey, if you would lead us in an invocation and the pledge, please, sir.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to come together and to do the business of the county. Lord, be with each member here and each individual that's taken the time out of their day to come. Be with the state and our country as we move forward. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Keith. This sign-in sheet. Thank you, sir. At this time, Sam, if you would call a roll to bring the court to order, please.
Yes, sir. Vera Sanders.
Present.
Sean Logston.
Here.
Karen Johnson.
Here.
Brian Bleemel.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
All present.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes from the April 7th, 2026 Bullitt County Fiscal Court meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for April 7th, 2026. I'll second.
Got a motion by 1st District Magistrate Sanders, a second by 3rd District Magistrate Johnson to approve the Bullitt County Fiscal Court minutes from April 7th, 2026 as presented. Sam, call the roll, please.
Logston.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Bleemel.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
Sanders.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Treasurer's transfer report, Canan.
Yes, Judge. Those were dated for March the 31st and also for April the 21st.
I'll make a motion that we accept the treasurer's transfer report as presented. Sorry.
Second.
Got a motion by 3rd District Magistrate Johnson, a second by 4th District Magistrate Bleemel to approve the treasurer's transfer report as presented. Sam, call the roll, please.
Johnson.
Yes.
Bleemel.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
Sanders.
Yes.
Logston.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Presentation and approval of all bills.
I'll make a motion that we approve all bills as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion by 2nd District Magistrate Logston, a second by 1st District Magistrate Sanders to approve the bills as presented. Sam, call the roll, please.
Bleemel.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
Sanders.
Yes.
Logston.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Treasurer's report, Canan.
Yes, Judge. That includes your appropriation condition report, a revenue condition report, a liability report, an ending fund cash transfer report, the financial statement ended March the 31st of 2026 as reported to the Department of Local Government.
I make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Second.
Got a motion by 1st District Magistrate Sanders, a second by 2nd District Magistrate Logston to approve the treasurer's report as presented. Sam, call the roll, please.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
Sanders.
Yes.
Logston.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Bleemel.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. We do have a guest speaker, Mr. Hilton from Beach Valley. Please, sir.
I want to start off by thanking each and every one of you for doing what you do. You know, I appreciate you and everything. But the reason why I'm here today is Beach Grove Road. Beach Grove Road has turned into, you know, it's beer cans laying beside the road, people burn out, rubber, everything. And I'm afraid that one of my loved ones is going to get hit and killed, you know. And it is becoming a problem, and I see it all over the county. And I know you're busy. I know you're a busy man. It's a big county. And I think something needs to be done about it. You know, safety is the main thing for everybody. Everybody sat here and everybody out here. And I think that's something that should be enforced all over the county. You know, and, you know, you get on Beach Grove Road, you know, first off, you leave, winter's red. you leave Kroger, takes an hour and 20 minutes to get to Beach Grove Road. There's people out towners blocking the box. There's no signs, there's no, I know at that time y'all's busy, your office is busy. But, you know, you got Shepherdsville police are nowhere around. I mean, you know, what, can we put, don't block the box and signs at every red light in Shepherdsville? Would that help? Or should we put cameras?
Wouldn't block the box.
Yeah,
What's that?
huh? Don't block the intersection.
box. Oh, okay.
You know, anybody who's been down state of Kentucky, big cities, it's don't block the box. You know, and that's the intersection. And like I said, you know, Beach Grove Road is not made for a lot of different things because the infrastructure ain't there. You know, it's just like when you leave here and take the hour and 20 minutes to get there, then you get on Beach Grove Road at Pumpkin there. There's semis sitting there blocking the road, and you're 2 hours sitting there. And there is signs there that says no semis on Pumpkin. But they're, you know, 100 feet away from the entrance, the way Pumpkin is on both ends. You can't even see them until you're already on it. You know, I mean, it is a concern to me because I do live there. You know, you figure the hour and a half into 2 hours, you know, if you're running your car, that's 2 hours of gas you're spending. You know, and everything. But like I said, that's what I kind of wanted to address today, and I do appreciate y'all for listening, and I thank every one of you.
Okay.
Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Hilton.
What about like when we have these wrecks on the interstate, you know, like it was shut down a month or so ago? Is there any way we could do a state of emergency, like that the semis, we don't let them off the interstate, you know what I'm saying? Because they're coming down these roads, like they had Chapiz blocked. That one of them tried to turn around in 480 right there between the jail and the interstate, you know, just in the road, you know, and then you can't go this way, then you can't go that way. Is there anything like that we could do? Any suggestions?
Well, I mean, I'll leave it to the county attorney whether you can declare a state of emergency because there was a car wreck on I-65, and thereby inhibit people.
Just local traffic maybe or
Well, I
something.
mean, I get what you're saying, but the bottom line of that is, if I tell you, you can't go there, it's the government affecting your freedom of movement. Now, putting up signs that say, no semis, in Pumpkin Road, for instance, the fiscal court determined to put a sign up there. Now, maybe it needs to be close to the intersection, I don't know. And unfortunately, my belief is, we don't need to be having semi-tractor trailers other than local access on Beach Grove Road. However, that's a state highway, and the fiscal court can't prohibit it.
Right.
Okay, so to your point, if I may, I went out, I had some complaints from folks about, you know, people on Beach Grove Road and wrecks and stuff. So I went out and I sat myself, and I just monitored the traffic. And people are driving 55, 52, 53, 58, 50, you know, this or that on Beach Grove Road. The ironic thing is, the north end of Beach Grove Road is 35 miles an hour, what's in the city limits of Shepherdsville, per state highway department determination. The lower end of Beach Grove Road is 55 miles an hour. Highway 61 at the lower end of Beach Grove Road is 45 miles an hour. Now, I had a conversation, so I get on the telephone and I call up to the folks at the District Highway Department, and I can't get a return call, and then I called Frankfurt, and I couldn't get a return call, and then I spoke to the young lady, and I said, what's going on here? You know, is it, I'm the sheriff of Bullitt County, and I can't get a return call from somebody with the Highway Department. Well, pretty soon, I got a call from somebody who said they were calling for that young man that is the district engineer, and they put me in touch with a fellow that is over speed limit. Said, well, we'll go down there and we'll do a study and we'll have somebody, you know, park and watch and see how fast people are going, and we'll determine whether to take and lower the speed limit from 55 to 45. And I said, well, what is it that you look for about that? And he said, well, a lot of it's going to have to do with how fast people are going on it. If they're traveling 50, 55 miles an hour, we're probably gonna keep it at that. And, so I said, well, what do we, what's the appeal from what you all do? And he said, well, it'll take us a number of weeks, and I've not seen any change on it. I think the speed limit is still 55 miles an hour on Lower Beach Grove Road, which in my opinion is inappropriate. Because I've tried, I don't feel safe in a police car driving on Beach Grove Road doing 55 miles an hour, and darn sure not when somebody else is coming the opposite way. But unfortunately, we do not have the lawful authority to control Beach Grove Road. Now, where we can take and put no semi signs, but to take and for the county government, I don't want to get into Ms. Baker's bailiwick, but I would be very uncomfortable with prohibiting people from exiting the interstate highway because there's been a wreck.
And I think it all falls back on GPS too. I use my GPS all the time anymore, even when I know where I'm going, just to give me traffic alerts and to know the accidents, because it's so prone here. I mean, I'll drive 5 miles and I'll put my GPS on just so I know if there's an accident, if it's red, orange, yellow, blue. So you can put all the signs you want, I think, still, but so many of these semi-drivers and that are on the interstate, well, I know they're cracking down on that. That's a whole other story. I'll stay away from that story. But they follow their GPS, and so if their GPS identifies, so I don't know if that would have to be probably a deeper conversation to figure out if there's a way to work with Google and the different, search engines that put out those maps, all the different ones that are out there, to determine whether you can restrict a road for that. I don't know. But I think so many of them people, just like myself sometimes, if I travel even an area I know anymore, just got so bad, I just turn my GPS on because I want to know if there's an accident or I need to go a different way. But especially when you're outside of an area you're unfamiliar with, if there's an accident on 65, it's going to take you off somewhere that's an alternate route, and that's what happens so many times. These semis, I think, are following their GPS, not knowing. Nobody uses an atlas or map, or they don't know the weight limit or the size of the road. If GPS tells them to go that way, they'll drive in a river. So that's I think, even a bigger issue there.
Something that may work is that they can have a sign somewhere at 61, no semis on Pumpkin, for instance. So that and then we take and establish a custom policy, whatever, that when that tractor trailer blocks up Pumpkin, we seize the tractor trailer. Now, it's going to be a bad day for that poor guy, whether he speaks English, reads English, doesn't speak English, or whatever. But when we seize that truck and we hold it, and the company has to come do stuff, it's not going to take 100 times, and the word's going to get out there. But if we don't start doing something along those lines, those guys, they're just trying to get from here to there, and they're looking at that, and they're trying to make $1, and they really don't care. They're not trying out to ruin your day, but they don't care about your day. They care about getting where they're supposed to be.
Also, they don't live here.
That's what I'm getting at.
They
don't, and it's not gonna, and I think, Sean, your point would work. That'd be it, GPS, and that's not where the money's at for GPS, unless a lot of local governments start getting to where we seize the trucks, and they don't want to send their trucks like that because it's going to cost them a bunch of money to get the truck out hot.
I'm sure I've driven it, but I'm not familiar with, I know where it probably is, but I don't know Pumpkin Road or.
I do.
Is there a sign up there now?
There's 2 signs at each end.
So there already
They're
is.
100 feet in, and way it's scrolled up, you can't see it till you're already on.
Because you had mentioned something about putting a sign up. I didn't know. That's an easy
Move the
fix we can
signs
do.
to the end of the road. And I was understanding, once the sign's up, it's a legal sign, and anybody can be fined.
But we've got signs, but you're saying we've got signs up now, they're just 100, so you've already made your turn, you've already got on the road
Yeah,
before you
right.
realize
And
it.
it's not the 245 end of Pumpkin, it's Pumpkin on Beach Grove Road,
And Pumpkin is a county road, it's our road.
Yeah.
So we can move those signs closer to where they're visible. And then make sure they're groomed and visible.
That turn right there is not wide enough for a semi to do, you know.
Well, maybe we get with Robert, whose area is that? Maybe we can get with Robert on that and see about possibly moving those signs and ensuring that they understand the importance of keeping them weed eaten and trimmed and
Well, like I
visible.
said, it ain't that, it's just the trees, you know, way it's grown up.
Yeah.
They're trimmed, but it's just a tree.
But it don't do no good, it don't do no good if you're in a semi and you turn down a road and you didn't, you know, and you're already on that road. And then all of a sudden, it makes it even worse, then it's like, oh, I can't go further, now what do I do, you know? You might as well not even, you might as well not even, yeah, you might as well not even have a sign there, you
Right.
know, you've turned them, you've allowed them to come onto the road, and then 100 feet later, they're like, oh, you're not supposed to be here, now what the hell
And
do I
like I
do?
said, and I'm not blaming anyone, I just think things.
Okay.
Yeah, well, maybe we could just make a note of that and talk to Robert and see about getting those signs moved,
Maybe right before the entrance of the.
right before the entrance,
Yeah, we,
You know, Mr. Armstrong that lives there, he's out there and he's calling.
and I don't know how big the sign is, but maybe we need to make it 3 foot bigger, you know, maybe
Yeah.
slap them in the face with
It'd
it.
be closer to the stop sign,
okay,
I think.
all right.
It's my opinion.
Well,
Can we all work on that?
yeah, we'll work, we'll, we'll get, and to summarize all this, we'll get the signs up. We'll move them up to where the signs will direct them before they get to Pumpkin itself. We'll stick them up on, we'll talk to the state, we'll put them up on their side of the road and make sure it works. So, fair enough? Yes. With everybody? Walt, good? Sean? Brian? Okay.
Just before we move on
Yeah.
to something else, I want to bring something up just real quick, because it kind of is the same topic, but I've got a couple complaints about Creekwood in the last 2 weeks about logging trucks going in there and tearing up the roads, but I've talked to you, Jerry, and I've talked to Robert, and it's my understanding that, you know, logging trucks, and we've talked about this before in past administration, this administration, but logging trucks fall under ag and they're exempt.
Yep.
But is there anything we can do, like, as far as is there anything we can do legally to, ensure the safety and the protection of, because we just did a lot of paving and stuff out there, you know, and then they're doing logging and tearing up the roads. Just because they're exempt agricultural, it seems like to me there still should be some sense of liability there.
They shouldn't be allowed to tear up the roads.
What can you do?
I spoke to somebody from state police, and they told me that logging is not ag exempt now, whether that is or not. So we might kind of delve into that a little farther and see.
I know there's a bridge there, it's hearsay for me, I don't know for sure, but I've heard that the weight limit, even a truck pretty much empty, is exceeding the weight limit crossing the bridge, not to mention when it's loaded down logs, so. But I was told by, different people that agriculturally, they are exempt, and there's not a lot you can do about it.
Well, here was the way it explained to me. So like in Georgia, they do have tree farms. They plant them in rows, and harvest them every 30, 50 years. But out here, if you're just harvesting the trees from your forest, that's not, you didn't grow them, you didn't plant them, they just grew up. So that was their argument.
That's the way I look at it, is I understand agriculture and farming, but if you're paying somebody, if somebody's in a business of cutting down trees and profiting off of it, that's a business, that's not out here that's not agricultural. So I don't know, I just think we need to protect our roads and the safety of them, but
Let me look into it,
Yeah.
Sean, I can shoot
Yeah.
you an email.
I just wanted to bring it up because it kind of falls in line with that, so, yeah, thank you.
Go to that company and make them
Put up a bond.
put a bond.
Yep.
If anything that goes on that road that gets torn up, the bank would release the funds to the county to fix the road.
Well, I think it's something we need to look at.
Quality Stone has done that for years and years.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I think they should follow the
But we need
same.
to find out who it is.
Yeah, we've done it up on Mount Elmira since we've been
They're
in
making
office.
money, they're cutting down an oak tree and they're making money, but then we gotta go turn around and fix the road that just got tore up,
Yep.
All right, yeah, if you can look into that and see.
All right.
I guess while we're on this topic, I have a question. I had never heard this before, but they said that the semi-trailers, the big trucks, the city can't pull them over, city police officers can't pull them over, only state DOT. Anybody with the DOTs, only the state can pull them over, is that correct?
I'd be shocked if that's correct.
Maybe it's
I mean,
just
so if
about
a
the weight.
quality
Ryan
control.
would probably know the answer to that.
Right.
If someone commits a traffic violation, they can pull them over, they can't just pull them over and inspection.
But if,
That's a difference.
right, but if a dump truck's going down John Harper, Pioneer Village could pull them over.
Traffic violation, city, sheriff, anybody can pull them over.
Okay,
That's law enforcement. They
Thank-
do traffic, yes.
thank you.
Okay.
I've stopped plenty of dump trucks and semis and all. So,
Okay.
The CDL requirements are not enforceable by, local. For instance, it's illegal federally for a person that can't speak and read English that be operating a CDL licensed vehicle. We don't have the authority to enforce that federal regulation. That's the feds. But if that guy's speeding, if a tractor trailer is doing 100 miles an hour down I-65, my deputies have the authority to pull them over and cite them for that state violation. Now, we're in the process currently of going through the training to have Bullitt County Deputy Sheriffs certified as, it's not quite as a deputy, but to do immigration work for ICE. When we get that done, like right now, I stop somebody and he doesn't speak English, I can't ask him about his immigration status. Once we get in this stronger partnership with ICE, my deputies and I will have the authority to ask those questions. And, I know in stopping some of these folks that I see parked on the interstate right of way, I go up and I knock on that door to, tell them, hey, you can't park here and sleep, and they crawl out of the back and then they, no English and all of that. Well, that's illegal. They have to speak English to be able to drive those tractor trailers, or they're supposed to have to. But if you, that's all in the news, you see all over the country, there's been a bunch of fraudulent stuff going on with that. So, I don't know if that answers your question, but Brian and I.
Very much so, yeah. Thank you so much, yeah.
Okay. Thank you all. It's healthy discussion. We'll look into that. I'll look into it with Tammy as well. Presentations, Bullitt County Detention Center, their budget. Hope you all have had time to review it. Brian's here. And
Good morning, everyone. If I can make
Brian.
one announcement, May 6th, 11 a.m. at the Bullitt County Detention Center, we're going to do an unveiling for 2 fallen deputies in line duty deaths. It'd be a memorial that we're going to be unveiling for Sergeant Sean Bowler, who passed away in 2021, and Lieutenant Clifford Scott Travis, who passed away in 2015. So if I'd like to invite everyone to be there. I'd like to make it a special occasion. It's going to be really something special.
What's the time on that?
It's going to be May 6th, 11 a.m. We're going to do an unveiling of a memorial for these 2 fine gentlemen who served the county proudly. So, one passed away of a heart attack, the other one passed away of COVID. They are considered in line of duty deaths. So, as far as the jail budget goes, the Office of the Jailer proposed budget is cut $23,596. This includes 3% cost of living raise from $5,156,116 in 2025-26 to 5.13 for 26-27. The fringe benefits increase $118,000 from $1.3 million in 25-26 to $1.4 million in 26-27. Total increased jail fund, $94,404, and that was from $6.4 $6,461,616. In 25-26 to $6,556,020.26 in 27 years. On the revenue side, the jail revenue increased $101,000 from $3,128,525.26 to $3,229,526 in 27 years. Total funds transferred from fiscal court decreased $6,596. That was from $3,333,116 in 25-26 to $3,326,520 in years 26-27. House Bill 557 would shift jail responsibility to the state from the counties, increasing jail revenue. Jail is currently working through its procedures to house more federal prisoners, increasing jail revenue. That is still through the application process. In the state housing, we get around $36 a day, and during the application process is asked what our projected housing would be. I plugged in about $85. I based it on other area federal housing. It seemed like the closer to the bigger cities is the more increase of federal housing would be, so I put $85, but it's negotiable. So with that being said, housing federal inmates will over double what we house state inmates. So as soon as we get this application process done, there's a contract through U.S. Marshals, and we are also going to be working with ICE and get some training in and where we can serve ICE warrants. So we're planning on getting 4 deputies trained in that. They're the only ones going to have access to the system, and we're going to be assisting ICE also with that kind of stuff. So, anybody have any questions?
Do you have plenty of room? What kind of, do you have extra?
Our bedding is 323 capacity. We normally hug around capacity about 270 to 280, so we have plenty of room.
Yep.
And if it comes to that, if we need to start decreasing some population, which I don't see us getting to that point, my goal is to decrease the state housing because all the county jails are fighting for state inmates because it brings in revenue. And if we need to, we will decrease the state housing to bring in more federal to raise the revenue up for the county.
Right, because it's 36.
It's all about the taxpayers. We want to bring in as much revenue as possible for the taxpayers, so I won't have burden to spend their money to operate the jail. So,
Awesome.
okay. Thank you all.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And I'll entertain a motion to accept the jailer's budget as presented.
Second.
Now I have a second by 2nd District Magistrate Logsdon. Any other discussion, members? Hearing none, Sam, call the roll.
Sanders.
Yes.
Logston.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Leamel.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes,
Motion carried.
thank you. Tammy, whoops, wait a minute, got one more, have a surprise.
Surprise.
2 surprises. Tony from Animal Control, you have a few minutes to bounce up here, and I think you've got a quick presentation for us, and Sheriff Scholler does too.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tony.
All right, quick thing, I'll just go over a couple things real quick. I haven't been in here in a minute, so kind of give you all a little bit of update. Since January, we've done 319 animal control runs, so it's been busy. The animal industry is in a loop at the moment. We are working right now with our Department of Agriculture grant on helping some people get some animals fixed for free. We're working on that as we speak. We have about 28 dogs in our care right now. We don't have any cats in our care at the moment, which is a plus. We've actually partnered with a cat cafe in E-Town called Lucy and Oscar's Cat Cafe. So they tend to take a lot of our adoptables and try to adopt them out there for us. We get our same fee that we would at our place. They collect our fee for us and then give it to us. Works out great. We did partner also with Amazon Gives Back. They call us once a month with a bunch of donations of cleaning supplies, dog supplies. So we go over there and pick them up once a month now. That's definitely been a big help with costs, with cleaning supplies and stuff. Let's see. We have quite a few events that we're working on scheduling right now. Being as we have this brand new building, we definitely want to make the most of it. We have 3 events at Kroger set up. We just did one this past Saturday at the one in Mount Washington. The girls there collected almost $800 in cash, and probably at least 5 or 6 grocery carts full of supplies. They did all that within 4 hours. So we got a great community that gives back to the animal shelter, that's for sure. And I have 2 more events scheduled with that this year, one in October, one in July. We have an event with East Bullitt Animal Clinic coming up in July. We're going to do a big adoption event there at their place there, at their vet center. We'll take probably a handful of dogs and whatever else we can there, and set up a nice tent and stuff. We're also going to be at Mount Washington Farmers Market on June 16th, setting up a tent there as well too. We're going to do, I've been in contact with the director of Hardin County Animal Control, Mr. Mike McNutt. They are going to bring their team out in June, their veterinarian team. We're going to do 2 rabies clinics at the shelter in June on Friday. We're going to pick 2 Fridays in June, and we're basically going to let the public from Bullitt County and whoever else wants to come in, they can come in and get their dog all their vaccinations for one small fee to try to help the public with this situation with vetting costs. Because as animal control, as we go out, that is one of the main things you get now is, I can't afford it. I can't afford to get those shots. I can't afford to get my dog fixed. So we're trying to help that situation out quite a bit with the situation with that. I don't have the exact dates on those in June yet, but once I do get those, I will let all you all know. We're going to publicize it very well. We're even going to do some free microchipping. Microchips are a very cheap tool that you can use to put in dogs. So that way, if you pick them up later on, you have all the information of who they belong to and everything. So they are a great tool to use. To be honest, I'm even thinking of any kind of Bullitt County residents, we'll microchip them for free. Oh. That way, if we end up with a dog, we'll know who it belongs to. So, the other big thing I'm really here for this morning is we got a couple of large donations that came in the last couple of months. I don't know if anybody's seen the post about Harrison Bank a couple weeks ago. They had a very beloved friend and employee that passed away suddenly. So they wanted to do a real nice thing for her because she was a big animal lover. So the month of March, Harrison Bank collected donations for us. They collected a little over $1,000. They matched it as well, so they gave us a little over $2,000 that they're going to help buy supplies and stuff that we need for the shelter. And he also let me know that they're going to do this every year in honor of Michelle Newman, is her name, the lady that passed away. So it's a great thing they're doing. And then we also had a big donation from a Miss Corrine Coing, and I'm sorry if I pronounced that name wrong, I apologize. I'm not really sure. She was a big animal activist quite a few years ago, but she had passed away about a year ago, and I got contacted by her attorney where she had left the shelter a good little chunk of money. We did put it to one of our donation accounts. We have 2 donation accounts at 2 different vets, East Bullitt and Shepherdsville Animal Hospital. What those are used for is for things that we're not budgeted for. We get a dog that's been hit by a car, he's got a broken leg, or a dog's heartworm positive. These are usually automatic kill things for most shelters because they don't have the funding to take care of those type of stuff. We use these funds right here to help those dogs that we don't have the funds for. And believe me, this saves lives. Ms. Coing donated almost $8,000 to our donation account. So we've got about, I think, around close to $8,000 at East Bullitt Animal Clinic, and we've got about $4,500 at Shepherdsville now. So we've got a good little chunk of money for backup situations right now. So we're doing very good on that. But that was the main reason I was here today, to thank those families for those donations, Ms. Coing and Ms. Newman for those great donations they gave us.
Is there any way at the shelter that we could, recognize them with a plaque or a paver or start something for those people that step up big like that?
Yeah, definitely. We were thinking of that too, maybe making some sort of plaque and maybe making a kennel in their name or something like that, or maybe one of the outdoor kennels in their name.
Yeah, it might be something to throw around, because I think it might
Yeah,
plant
for
a seed
sure.
for future people that's willing to do
Yeah.
that, and, you know, definitely a great gesture to thank them.
Yeah, for sure.
Any of their family members that may ever want to come and visit that, whether it's a, park bench or a paver or a brick on the wall or something on the wall, but there's a lot of different things I think we could probably do. But
Oh,
if
yeah,
you want to throw that
definitely.
around and come
Love
up with
that
something,
idea.
I think we'd all probably be in support of that.
And like I said, Harrison Bank's gonna do this every year in March in honor of her, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
Maybe talk with the staff and see what y'all could come up with, but I'd
Yeah.
love to see some way to recognize those individuals
Sure.
that step up above a certain, maybe it's different levels of giving, if somebody
Right.
gives 1,000 or above, or 5,000, they get a different, but come up with something, I think it'd be good.
Yeah, I agree
Like
with
a
you,
bronze.
definitely. We can definitely look into that.
Yep.
Is there any other questions you all have for me or anything?
On the day in June, I know you haven't given a day, but what is the fee going to be for that?
We're not sure yet. I just met with Mike on Friday, so he's still kind of getting a price point for me.
Okay.
But I'll be honest with you, we're going to keep it as low as we can. We're not going to try to make money off of this. We really just want to help the public at this point. Because like I say, I've noticed with animal control it's a lot more now animals aren't being vaccinated. Because they just can't afford it, unfortunately.
Right.
I wish we could do a spay and neuter clinic. We're still working on maybe trying to figure that one out.
I think I drove by the other day and I didn't see it. Was the sign down, or is there something going on with the sign?
Yeah, the sign has been blown down a couple times, unfortunately. It's like I don't know what it is with that area where we're at. It's like a wind tunnel through there.
Yeah.
But the sign has got ripped down twice, but now we have a new one up. They did reinforce it with steel on the sides, and they put an extra brace in there or
Okay.
something, so I think it's gonna hold this time.
What about the plans for the floorboard fence along the front? I know that was something I think that was talked about initially, but
I haven't heard anything else about it since.
okay.
One
Yeah.
other question. How many dogs can y'all house there?
Total wise, we could house up to about, if you fill every room, of course, you have a medical room, you have a quarantine room, you have a general population room, and then you have some holding cages in your garage as well, too. So totally, if I filled up every cage in there, we could hold about 45. But in order, your general population only holds about 24 to 30. So once you get that general population filled up, unfortunately, you got to kind of pick and choose what you're kind of intaking at that point. And we're trying to do very good with that. Like I say, we've gotten full a couple times already where we basically start a list on people that have found dogs, and then we'll contact them once we have space, and then we'll try to intake the dog at that point. I did get mentioned to me about field fostering. Unfortunately, I'm not a fan of that, because what you're doing is you're basically putting the county in a liability situation, because if I don't know the temperament or any vaccination history of a dog, and then I put it in our care, I'm kind of putting the county in a big liability situation with that. We like to at least know the temperament and at least make sure they're vaccinated before we put them in the public's hands. So,
I just know the county is seeing a lot of dogs being dropped off. Just
It
in my
is.
area, I've seen so many here lately.
every shelter in the state of Kentucky is probably close to capacity.
I don't know, and they look like healthy dogs. You know,
I've got 27 healthy, beautiful dogs there right now that are ready for adoption, and they're just,
I don't know if dog food's just gotten too high and they can't afford it, or.
it
what's
tends to
happening.
be the bigger ones, yes. And I think it's getting costly, so the bigger ones tend to always get overlooked now, unfortunately.
Really cute when they're puppies, and people forget they look cute when they're big, but they grow up.
They grow up,
Yeah,
yeah,
little puppies.
absolutely.
When someone adopts a dog, you all give some supplies, don't
Oh,
you?
yes, we've run a couple different specials. We've done a foster to adopt special where basically you could take the dog for free for 2 weeks. We supply all the supplies for you for that 2 weeks, and then if you decide you want to adopt it after the 2 weeks, you get it for a very, very discounted price. So it's kind of like a trial deal. You basically get to try it for free almost. So, and then we've also, say dogs that have been there for a majority of time, we tend to drop their fee the longer they're there. So if the dog's been there for 6, 8 months, it might only have a $20 adoption fee at this
They
point.
go on clearance.
What's that?
They go on clearance sale.
Kinda, I mean, you're really trying to move them at that
I know.
point, you know?
That's
So, and we are working with, I don't know if y'all know Bigby Coffee up there, of course, by Washington. They do allow us to bring a dog there every Saturday, and it's been working out really well. They allow us to bring a dog there every Saturday. They name a drink after the dog on Saturday. It gets some attention there while it's there. Actually, we had a dog we took there last week. And then we actually found the owner because the owner seen that post about Bigby Coffee. She had been missing a dog for 3 months. So, yeah, even little small things like that, it can make a difference along the line. So, but,
Okay.
the only biggest issue right now is staffing. We're having a little issues with staffing, but we're working on it. So, I've noticed every shelter around us right now is hiring.
So you're hiring as well?
We've got a full-time position open right now. Yes.
A full-time kennel?
Yep. Okay. Anything else for Tony? Well, thank you, Tony, for
No
that
problem.
update.
Thank you guys. I appreciate all you guys do for us.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I think Walt has a real quick presentation as well.
Judge, the unemployment insurance fund, the KCO, is set up with a board and so forth, and due to good stewardship and practices across the state, we received a dividend, which is a repayment of some of the premiums the fiscal, it's made out to the Bullitt County Sheriff's Office. However, the fiscal court pays the premium, so we felt that it'd be appropriate for us to give that check over to the fiscal court.
Okay, thank you, Walt. Thank you all
It's
so much.
$8,900
Dollars, there you go.
Oh, hang on to it.
All right, there you go. There you go, Ken Ann. Thank you, Walt.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, hey, Tammy, our counselor. It's a second reading of zoning ordinance 26 days. So 6, James Jewell, please.
Commonwealth of Kentucky, County of Bullitt, zoning ordinance number 26-06. An ordinance relating to the changing of zoning of certain property from R2 residential and B1 highway business to B1 highway business. The property in question is 3.6115 acres, more or less, located at 270 Armstrong Lane, parcel number 070-000-00-087II and 070-000-000-087I and 070-000-000-087J and 070-000-000-087K in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County has considered the evidence of the public hearing held by the Joint Planning Commission and the recommendations of the Commission, the information provided in the staff report of the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and the testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held by the Fiscal Court, and whereas the Fiscal Court concurs in and adopts the reasons of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change, and approves and accepts the recommendations of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes, and determines that the proposed zoning change is acceptable and should be approved. Now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Section 1, that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission, in docket number 2026Z-11, is hereby changed from R2 residential and B1 highway business to B1 highway business. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect upon passage and publication as required by law. Section 3, should any section, provision, or part of this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, then the remainder of this ordinance shall not be affected and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions to the extent they are inconsistent herewith are hereby repealed. Given first reading and public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 7th day of April 2026. Given second reading at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 21st day of April 2026.
Thank you, Tammy.
Well, I'll make a motion. We had an opportunity for anybody to speak against it, and nobody spoke up last meeting, and Planning Commission made a recommendation to approve it. So as a result, I'll make a motion to approve and accept the recommendation of the Planning Commission for zoning ordinance 26-06, James.
I will second.
And I have a second. Sam, call a roll.
Walston?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Flamel?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Tammy, second reading of zoning ordinance 26-08, Keith Katz.
Commonwealth of Kentucky, County County of Bullitt zoning ordinance number 26-08, an ordinance relating to the changing of zoning of certain property from agricultural, B1 highway business, and R4 residential to R4 residential. The property in question is 17.758 acres, more or less, located at 2420 and 3358 South Bardstown Road, parcel number 083-000-00-003I and 083-000-00-003B in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County has considered the evidence of the public hearing held by the Joint Planning Commission and the recommendations of the commission, the information provided in the staff report of the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and the testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held by the Fiscal Court, and whereas the Fiscal Court concurs in and adopts the reasons of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change, and approves and accepts the recommendations of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes, and determines that the proposed zoning change is acceptable and should be approved. Now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Section 1, that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission in docket number 2026B-12, is hereby changed from agricultural, B1 highway business, and R4 residential to R4 residential. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect upon passage and publication as required by law. Section 3, should any section, provision, or part of this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, then the remainder of this ordinance shall not be effective and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions to the extent they are inconsistent herewith are hereby repealed. Given first reading and public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 7th day of April 2026. Given second reading at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 21st day of April 2026.
Thank you, Tammy.
And once again, based upon the findings and recommendation of the Planning Commission, I'll make a motion that we approve zoning ordinance 26-08 based upon approval and recommendation of the Planning Commission.
And I second.
I have a motion by 2nd District Magistrate Logsdon, a second by 3rd District Magistrate Johnson to approve the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission on 26-08. Sam, call the roll.
Johnson?
Yes.
Lehmel?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Logsdon?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Tammy, the second reading zoning ordinance 26-07, Charles Gilbert.
Commonwealth of Kentucky, County of Bullitt, zoning ordinance number 26-07, an ordinance relating to the changing of zoning of certain property from agricultural to R1 residential. The property in question is 8.149 acres, more or less, located at Cedar Creek Road, parcel number 053-000-00-040A, in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County has considered the evidence of the public hearing held by the Joint Planning Commission and the recommendations of the Commission, the information provided in the staff report of the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and the testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held by the Fiscal Court, and whereas the Fiscal Court concurs in and adopts the reasons of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change, and approves and accepts the recommendations of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes, and determines that the proposed zoning change is acceptable and should be approved. Now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Section 1, that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission in docket number 2026Z-13, is hereby changed from agricultural to R1 residential. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect upon passage and publication as required by law. Section 3, should any section, provision, or part of this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, then the remainder of this ordinance shall not be effective and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions to the extent they are inconsistent herewith are hereby repealed. Given first reading and public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 7th day of April 2026, given second reading at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 21st day of April 2026.
Thank you, Tammy.
Well, I'll make a motion we approve and accept the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission for zoning ordinance 26-07.
I'll second.
Got a motion by 2nd District Magistrate Logsdon, a second by 1st District Magistrate Sanders to follow the Planning and Zoning's recommendation on 26-07. Sam, call the roll, please.
Lehmel?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Logsdon?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. The next one is, I'm going to put this in the form of a motion to pay the poll workers and cut the checks upon receiving the information from the county clerk.
I'll second that.
I have a second by First District Magistrate Sanders. Sam, call the roll, please.
Judge Summers?
Yes?
Sanders?
Yes.
Logston?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Seymour?
Yes.
Motion carried.
And 5, new hires and adjustments. It's time the court, if you recall, we did the recommendation for a 6-month increase for the new hires and the promotions of Justin Moore and Chris Limp. From where I sit, they have done an outstanding job of literally taking the emergency management and EMS to the next level under the combined leadership. Justin brings us a breath of fresh air to the organization. And I can't say enough about Chris and his experience that he's had, I'm going to say regionally and universally in the EMS area. We have made tremendous strides with the structure and the employee involvement and the employee morale at EMS under this new administration. And I'm going to put that in the form of a motion.
Second.
You can. I'll second it.
Okay.
It doesn't make any difference.
Okay. Was that a second, Vera?
Yes.
I have a second from First District Magistrate Sanders. Any other discussion, members? Hearing none, Sam, call the roll.
Sanders?
Yes.
Logston?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Seymour?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes,
Motion carried.
thank you. Brian?
So I had an email from a resident, Jennifer Perkins, about the Rayleigh Farm that's for sale there on 245. And I guess it's already zoned light industrial.
Heavy industrial.
Okay. Isn't there something that we made that the tourism corridor where it can't be a warehouse on that side of the interstate? I guess
We have a 200-foot on each side all the way down through there to help explain all this. I almost had a wreck the other night when I saw that sign. I was going to a fundraiser for the Fraternal Order of Police. It was grandfathered in probably before some of y'all were born. They literally took every interchange in this county and made it industrial general. Not industrial light, but general. That's the same thing. We only have one industry, one industry in this county that's IG that I know of, and that's Jim Beam. Yeah, that's a huge, so we're going to be diving into that, Brian, to help you with all that. And that's up for further discussion.
But regardless of the zoning, anything that's developed there has to comply with the tourism overlay.
Overlay,
So everything
right.
that's required,
And-
they'll
and-
have to comply.
Right, and that's what happened the last time with the piece of property adjacent to our fairgrounds. They couldn't meet the compliance with what they wanted to do. So they basically threw their hands up in the air and we were able to purchase it.
So I guess the 200 foot is the road frontage back.
Back,
200
yes,
foot
sir.
cannot be, it either has to, if it does, it at least has to be like a berm.
Absolute berm, plantings, we've got a list of things as long as your arm on there. So it's, the compliance is really tough for especially a big box or whatever. And yeah, I've had quite the healthy discussions with, we broached the topic with Tammy the other day when we had our meeting, but it's yeah, that's something we need to move forward on as a court. Okay.
Well, and I did know like a lot of along the interstate years ago, like you said, maybe the 60s or 70s, they allowed them to go ahead and
Yeah.
industrial. So I know some of that happened 50, 60 years ago.
Absolutely. It was way pre-us. I liked about keeled over when the developer said, or the person selling it told me it was.
And then one other thing, and I've let Robert know, but on Happy Hollow, just at the bridge and just past the bridge, there are 2 yield signs. It looked like Jim Beam has put up. I don't know, has anybody brought it up to you? So if you're coming out of Perkins for the bottling.
Right, uh-huh,
So they don't have to stop, but if somebody's coming, you're supposed to stop and yield to them, but they're not our county signs. I took pictures of them, actually.
okay, all right.
I don't know if he's had any resolution on that, but
No, I didn't even know about it, so we will, I know they have a lot of pedestrians that walk through there.
Right.
By working around there, that's
this
a
is right at the
prospect.
bridge and right, on each side of the
Each side?
bridge. So
Okay.
just so the trucks don't have to stop, basically, is what it looks like.
Okay.
It actually looks like Perkins should have a stop sign
On their side,
on their side, so
Uh-huh.
that, because Happy Hollow would be the main thoroughfare.
Sure.
And then one other thing I just want to bring up is, planning and zoning's having a special meeting tonight, to try to, I guess they're wanting to rezone some property on Chapiz to industrial that's residential. And
Right.
it joins the Spring subdivision.
yep,
So, I think like we're talking about the traffic and warehouses and all that, Chapiz definitely can't support semis.
right.
And it's a special meeting. I don't know why they didn't want to wait until the next meeting in a couple weeks. But
No,
just making people aware of that.
okay, all right. And to help you, we had quite the discussion, I had the discussion with our county attorney, we got 90 days on that as well, so,
After the
The-
planning
the-
commission takes that.
After they
yeah.
make their
So it's
recommendation.
yeah, so we will delve right into that all the way around. That's a promise.
So that's just some stuff's going on. That's all I
Okay,
have.
thank you. Karen?
I really don't know anything.
Okay. Well, and thank you for coming the other day to the, all of you, to the historical venue, the Belmont Armed Furnace. Sean?
No, thank everybody for coming. It's a beautiful day. Get out there and do something productive.
Okay. Vera?
No, I have nothing to say.
Okay. I'd like to thank Teresa for coming today. City Council member from the City of Shepherdsville, and Faith Portman from the City Council of, Lebanon Junction. You're from Shepherdsville. I'm so sorry. Hey, and I really don't have anything. I got a note from Texas Gas. I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but Texas Gas has a major line that runs through this community that was way pre our time as well. And they're looking at furthering that. They transferred shale gas, natural gas, all the way up to Cincinnati literally from Texas. It's been in our community as part of the Poor Farm and all the fun stuff for many years. They're looking to increase the size of it and volume because they want to take it all the way up into Pennsylvania. So I know some of the residents, we've chatted with them, it's got letters. They're right now just looking at their existing line to see what it's going to take, because a lot of folks didn't even know that they had a gas line on their property. So this is where we're at with it. We'll keep the general public informed. They're just in the exploratory stage right now for routing, and that's the best information that we have on it right now. They've been quite the communicators so far, but they're just exploring things as it is. So, okay. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion from you, Vera, to.
The time is 10:30. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
And I have a second from 4th District Magistrate Blamo. Sam, call the roll, please.
Logston?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Blamo?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you
Not
all.
that y'all are not doing anything productive being here, it's just a pretty